Well, welcome everyone. It is time to begin our program here on the stage. How's everybody doing? Thank you all so much for being here. Welcome to Voices of Courage 2024, benefiting physicians for reproductive health. My name is Fred Northup Jr. I am thrilled and honored to be back here with you as your MC for the evening. We have an incredible program lined up for you. We are here in this room. We, of course, as always, broadcasting live around the world. So hello, I'm told it's about 10 million now watching the live stream. Hello to the 10 million who are watching. They can't see. Yeah, let's give them a welcome to our live stream viewers. Those who are watching from home can't see the star-studded affair that is in this room. So if you're watching from home, we've got Jay-Z and Beyonce. Thank you for being here. Travis and Taylor. Taylor canceled a Paris show, I'm told, just to be at this event. It's basically like this event and then the Met Gala in terms of celebrities who are here, as it should be. As it should be, because what we're doing here tonight is important. What we're doing matters. You're going to learn more about the critical work of PRH's powerful network of doctors, and you'll hear how your generosity tonight helps them protect abortion access and advance sexual and reproductive health, rights, and justice across the country. We're also going to honor two, yes, let's give ourselves a round of applause for that. It's important. Thank you. We'll honor two outstanding abortion providers who make an impact on their communities. And we'll finish our evening with the one and only John Oliver. Of course, we'll all have the opportunity to give a meaningful gift during our Fund a Need by raising a bid card here in the room or by donating with our text link if you're watching remotely. But first, of course, you can't have an amazing event without amazing co-chairs. So I want to introduce two people who made this event possible. Please welcome our incredibly important event co-chairs, Dr. Chris Creatura, Leadership Training Academy Class of 2011, and Dr. Mira Shaw, Leadership Training Academy Class of 2016.
Thank you, Fred. Thanks. And thanks for being such a part of this special evening. It is so exhilarating to be in the midst of all this abortion provider support here this evening. All this appreciation for what we do. I feel that I just want to let you know that basking in that is really a wonderful part of this event. And on behalf of Physicians for Reproductive Health, we're just really honored to welcome you to Voices of Courage. Mira and I are delighted to be here and honored to be co-chairing the Voices of Courage. I'm personally honored to be chairing this celebration of caregiving, having served on the awards committee for 13 years now. And I want to personally thank all of our sponsors here tonight, including our presenting sponsor, the Harnish Foundation, and Ruth Ann Harnish in particular, and our live stream sponsor, Betches Media. We're thrilled with the turnout tonight, and there are many familiar faces in this room, but if this is your first time at one of Physicians' events, would you make some noise for us and let us know that you're here? Because we're not just about abortion providers, we're all abortion beneficiaries. Because when people can plan their futures, everybody benefits. Our movement is growing all the time, and our message is reaching people who realize that their right to health care is not a guarantee. We need more funds to continue to expand the physician advocate network so they can show up ready to protect and expand access to reproductive health care, which will always, always include abortion care. So if you're here tonight, you are a voice of courage, and we want to thank you for showing up, and thank you for giving. I'd also like to thank Dr. Mira Shaw for being my partner in this event to continue the work and fund this critical cause. And with that, I shall turn it over to Dr. Shaw.
Thank you, Chris. I just want to say and reiterate that this event is amazing, and I'm so glad that y'all are here. It's one of my favorite events of the year. I couldn't do this work without the support of everyone in this room, and because I have the mic, I'm going to just take a little liberty to say thank you so much to Planned Parenthood Hudson-Peconic. Where are you all in the room? Oh yes, there you are. Hi. Planned Parenthood Hudson-Peconic is where I am the chief medical officer, and everyone from my team came out to support me tonight and to support this great event. I also want to give a shout out to Whole Women's Health Alliance. Amy Hegstrom-Miller's in the room, so is Stephanie Toti. Thank you so much for being here. To my husband, Bart, over there, because without a great partner, I really couldn't do this work. And also to CCRM Fertility, Dr. Shiva Talavian and Dr. Jamie Notman for getting me pregnant and helping me be a mom. Fred Northrup Jr., we're so happy to have you back as MC and auctioneer this year, and also for helping us with our events at Planned Parenthood. You are incredible and very effective. We also want to recognize the abortion providers joining us tonight. So if you are an abortion provider here, and there's absolutely no pressure, however, we would love for you to stand so that we could celebrate you. So please. Woohoo! Thank you so much. The work we do is really tough. It's really rewarding, and I just wanted to take a moment to celebrate all of you in this room. Lastly, Chris and I would like to recognize two individuals who have been the heart of Voices of Courage for almost a decade, Doctors Caitlin Fiss and Isabel Blumberg. Caitlin and Isabel, please stand so we can recognize you and give our sincerest gratitude for all of your planning. Thank you so much for all of your planning and philanthropy efforts for Voices of Courage. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce to the stage Dr. Ghazala Moayedi, Leadership Training Academy Class of 2018 and PRH's new board chair, to present the 2024 PRH Abortion Provider Awards.
Hey, y'all. Hey. Thank you so much for being here tonight. A round of applause for Chris and Mira. Thank you. I'm Dr. Ghazala Moayedi. Y'all might know me as Ghazal, and it is such a pleasure to be here with you this evening. Uplifting and celebrating the incredible care we abortion providers provide to our communities is a huge part of PRH's work and mission. Look at how short I am. I really need to bring this down here. Okay, here we are. Tonight, we are honoring two abortion providers who are defying the odds to serve their patients in the midst of some of the most challenging and increasingly dangerous political climates we've really seen in generations. It's gonna get rougher, y'all. It's gonna get rougher. As providers of sexual and reproductive health care, including abortion care, we have taken oaths to provide patients the care they need, whenever and wherever they need it. And in 2024, these abortion provider award winners epitomize that dedication to service despite the extraordinary political battles they face in their home states. I am so excited to honor them and for y'all to get to know them. So let's take a look.
When I initially went into medicine, I was very interested in global health. During my residency, I was able to spend some time in Uganda. And I spent a couple of months there working as a resident in a local hospital. And what I saw of people not having access to safe abortion, people having experienced unsafe abortions, and people having pregnancies because they weren't able to access the appropriate contraception. And that really moved me and motivated me to want to learn more about abortion and contraception and how I could have a career in that. I was a resident at Albert Einstein in New York, and I actually trained where Dr. Rashbaum had been a provider. And it was really moving and exciting to be able to provide care for people who really needed it, and to see how profoundly abortion care could change someone's life. I was first motivated to pursue advocacy as a physician in 2011, which was around the same time that I was able to do the Physicians for Reproductive Health Leadership Training Academy. Also the time that our state legislature had started to pass abortion restrictions that were going to really change how we were able to provide care for patients.
Talking about the Women's Right to Know Act, Planned Parenthood has already sued the state over the budget. Now other groups are joining this fight.
I was put in touch with a lot of different activists in the state who were doing work around these issues. I was able to go to the Capitol and testify. Eventually, I also was part of the lawsuit that sued against this bill as well.
After months of waiting, a federal judge has declared North Carolina's ultrasound abortion law illegal.
This is something that I can do with the privilege that I have, with the expertise that I have around these issues, and with the patients that I take care of.
Dr. Amy Bryant, the OBGYN who is the plaintiff in this suit, writing in part, these burdensome restrictions on medication abortion force physicians to deal with unnecessary restrictions on patient care and on the healthcare system.
We've been using this for over 20 years now, and it's clear that this has an extremely, exceptionally safe record.
Medicine is a social justice issue, and medicine requires physicians who are willing to stand up for the rights of patients. I always knew I would do advocacy as part of medicine. I just didn't know exactly what it was going to look like.
I mean, you're fine, because it's just a straightforward. So you must.
It is extremely gratifying to work with students, to work with residents, to work with fellows, trainees of all different levels who are interested in this care. This move towards much more patient-centered care and compassionate abortion care, I think it is a very beautiful thing. When learners see that modeled and when they are able to provide that care, it is very empowering. To be recognized by my peers and people that I admire so tremendously, it's just very humbling and just an extreme honor.
So I've known Dr. Bryant since 2009, actually, when I interviewed to become the second family planning fellow here. She was the first one. She, sacrifices so much to make sure that others, are being taken care of. And she spends her weekends, canvassing and stuff just to make sure that reproductive health, is protected in the state and the country, whether it be, at the court level or the North Carolina legislature, to make sure that they are all aware of the impacts that they make when they make bad decisions, and that, there are better decisions that should be made to protect access to everyone.
There are many of us who do this work and who are, working together in community, in partnership to try to advance care here in North Carolina.
So, just recently, Dr. Bryant's advocacy made a difference in the lives of North Carolinians? I've never actually said that out loud. As she challenged medically unnecessary restrictions on medication abortion in the state, and the court ruled in her favor. For her exemplary leadership as a physician, an educator, and an advocate, dedicated to advancing reproductive health, rights, and justice in North Carolina and nationally, please help me in honoring Dr. Amy Bryant with the 2024 Rashbaum Leadership Award.
taller than you, I think. So thank you. Thank you. I am so filled with gratitude and deeply honored to receive this award. Thank you, physicians, for reproductive health. I'd also like to thank my incredible partner, Brian, and our wonderful children and family for their unwavering support, and my mentors, Dr. David Grimes and Dr. Gretchen Stewart, and my nominators, Aileen Garapi and Jen Tang, and so many more colleagues and collaborators, partners, the North Carolina Reproductive Freedom Coalition, the Center for Reproductive Rights, Expanding Medication Abortion Access Project, and of course, all of my lawyers. They say April is the cruelest month, but for the last 3 years, I think we can say it's been May. In May 2022, the Dobbs decision leaked, and North Carolina saw one of the largest surges in abortion care in the country. And in a whirlwind, we sought to care for patients from across the Southeast while simultaneously working in coalition to try to prevent losing all access in North Carolina. Then in May 2023, North Carolina legislature announced its new abortion ban with all these new heartless requirements and paperwork, and they rammed it through in 48 hours, which is less than the 72-hour in-person waiting period that it requires. Boo is right. And now, in May 1st, 2024, Florida's callous 6-week ban went into effect, which slashes access across the Southeast. North Carolina will again do everything we can to accommodate the surge of patients who are going to come in. Whatever these misguided, misogynistic legislatures do, they cannot erase the wisdom and courage of people who know, pregnant people who know what is best for themselves and their families and seek an abortion. But some of them won't make it, and they'll be forced into birth. And some of them will get to us too late and have to travel even farther. But there are some small glimmers of hope, as Dr. Moyetti alluded to. 2 weeks ago, in a case I filed in North Carolina, a federal judge declared that North Carolina's laws around mifepristone are in fact preempted by the FDA's rules, which will expand access, we hope, to people across North Carolina. Roe, it's good news, a little bit. So Roe was never enough to provide equitable access to abortion care, and Dobbs is not the end of the road. The basic right to have control over one's body, one's own future, is just too fundamental. I'm grateful every day to the mothers of the reproductive justice movement and current visionaries like Dr. Jamila Perritt, who reveal so clearly, yes, who reveals so clearly the interconnectedness of all aspects of injustice. We must stand up for a world in which the stifling forces of racism, white supremacy, and gender inequality are demolished and replaced with a world in which the decision to parent or not to parent in safe and sustainable communities is a reality. Guided by these principles, I strive to make North Carolina a beacon of exemplary abortion care in the South and a place where patients can receive compassionate care free from medically unnecessary restrictions and criminalization, where physicians and students can train to provide excellent care while eradicating the roots of injustice and creating a world in which everyone can live their unique and precious lives in full autonomy, dignity, and humanity. Physicians for Reproductive Health provides invaluable resources to lead with courage. Together, may future Mays be full of hope and promise. Thank you.
Okay, that award is super heavy, so it can be used for protection for any abortion provider that wins it as well. Okay, now let's take a look at the other award we'd like to recognize this evening. Cue the video.
I think my abortion journey really started during family medicine residency. I realized that, unfortunately, abortion is often siloed in a separate part of healthcare. I had to travel to another state to get this training just because I know that it's an important part of care that people need, and I should be trained in it, just like I'm trained in how to take care of diabetes and take care of a prenatal patient. The hotline was really started kind of as a harm reduction model. We know people have always been really self-managing their abortions, and so this isn't a new concept, but people just seem to have a lot more questions as the legal landscape has shifted, and we are there to support them in whatever decision they make. We talk to people mostly in states that have abortion bans or restrictions, and they just really need to know their options. So we give them a lot of information about how they can get pills mailed to them, how the process is safe. And then also a lot of people after the process just really want kind of reassurance that everything went okay and that they did what they needed to do. My other job, I work at a sexual and reproductive health clinic in Brooklyn, because even in New York City, where there are a lot of abortion providers, there are a lot of abortion clinics, they're often, clustered in certain areas. And so some people might have to travel an hour or two on the subway just to get an abortion. And that can be very difficult if you have kids, if you have jobs, if you're working 2 jobs. I was very lucky to be a part of the Leadership Training Academy in 2019 into 2020. And just getting to meet with advocates from around the country in different specialties, but all of us with a common goal of support for abortion care and access. And the skills that I learned during Leadership Training Academy have continued with me, the past several years. I have done some TV interviews, I've been in articles, I've written a few articles myself.
Joined now by Dr. April Lockley. Most of my patients are Black and people of color. They feel as though the medical community doesn't always listen to them or treat them fairly.
I don't think I would have jumped out on a limb and taken some of those opportunities if I didn't have the support and information from the Leadership Training Academy. I want abortion and medication abortion just to be out there, that people know it's an option, that it's safe. Being recognized, I think, just helps get the word out about the work that myself and my colleagues are doing at the Miscarriage and Abortion Hotline, at my clinic here in Brooklyn.
Dr. Lockley was nominated by a group of us from the Miscarriage and Abortion Hotline. We appreciate and value her leadership of the hotline, which is an organization that works outside of the formal medical care system. Despite being warned by our movement lawyers that much of our conduct may be risky, April perseveres in leading our group and actually takes on the most risk by taking the riskiest calls and giving people their options.
I really am just thinking about the communities and patients and people that need this care, and this award should be for them for being brave and strong to, seek out the care that they need. Some people look at, physicians on TV and doing interviews on the national news and all those kind of things and think, oh, how can I get there? Or doing Senate hearings, those kind of things. But advocacy can start really right in your backyard, in your clinic. Look in your day-to-day, what's going on either in your neighborhood or your community. Sometimes the smallest things can make the biggest difference. So don't be intimidated to start small.
For her trailblazing advocacy work and for championing health equity, patient autonomy, and reproductive justice in New York, nationally, and in my community too, thank you so much. Please join me in presenting the 2024 Tiller Advocacy Award to Dr. April Lockley.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks to my parents. They traveled here from Maryland, and they've supported me in pretty much everything I've done, so greatly appreciate that. Thank you to my partner, Anthony. We've been together for 10 years in my last year of medical schools when we started dating, and I don't think he knew what he was getting himself into. He was like, the match? What is that? And he was like, that's crazy. So thank you for being through this crazy journey with me. And my daughter, Amaya, she's 18 months. She's not here, but she's the new love of my life and has made me even more pro-abortion. And thank you for PRH and all the leadership and helping me step outside of my comfort zone. Standing here and talking to all of you all is something that I normally would not enjoy doing, but PRH has supported me and connected me with other physicians, and we're still in contact today, so the community that PRH provides is invaluable. Yeah, some of my LTA colleagues are here today, so thank you. So since I have the mic, I guess I'll share a few words. So as we navigate these new legal challenges in this country, I continue this work by following the principles of the reproductive justice framework. Me and Amy did not talk before this, but we had similar principles. The reproductive justice framework is a human rights framework that was founded by Black women. It says that everyone should have the right to parent, to not parent, and to parent those kids in safe and healthy environments. And so I'm here to say that people in this country are still having abortions, and that's not going to stop because it is our human right. And in fact, rates of abortion generally haven't declined too much since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, because people know what's best for them, and we're not going to stop getting people the care that they deserve. People are getting pills by mail in all 50 states, including Texas, Mississippi, Louisiana, and people are traveling even sometimes thousands of miles to access abortion care, thanks to the work that many of you all in the audience are doing, and it's much appreciated. And also to all the people that are having abortions and facing all sorts of challenges and confusions, I see you and I support you. And although abortion access has never been great in this country, we are really navigating a whole new system of care due to the overturning of Roe v. Wade, but the law has not and will not save us. We learned so many lessons from our colleagues and advocates around the world, especially advocates in the global south, particularly from countries such as Mexico, Nigeria, and Brazil, because they've unfortunately been living with abortion bans for much longer than the US. And so thank you for those people that are doing the work now, and thank you to the people in other countries that we have taken lessons from. And so as we continue to get people the care that they deserve, the fight is not over here in New York, around the country, and around the world. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. So all around the world and all around the country, people should have the human right to reproductive justice and bodily autonomy, yet unfortunately we are far from that idealized reality. So for example, according to Reuters News, the main maternity hospital in Gaza Strip crowded city of Rafah, where over a million Palestinians have been displaced, that hospital has stopped admitting patients. According to the New York State Health Department, Black women have a pregnancy-related mortality ratio 5 times higher than the white women here in this state. According to the Human Rights Campaign, 38% of transgender youth live in states that have passed bans on gender-affirming care. And according to the Guttmacher Institute, 14 states have a total abortion ban and 27 states have bans based on gestational age. So I do leave here with a little bit of hope, because I know myself and others, we're gonna continue to keep doing this work and supporting people, because none of us are free until all Palestinians are free. None of us are free until all Black women and birthing people have safe and joyful and dignified births. None of us are free until every transgender person can get the gender-affirming care they deserve. And none of us are free until all models of abortion care are freely accessible to everyone in every state. So thank you very much for this award.
One more round of applause for both of our award winners. How about the... Thank you for all that you're doing. So now, to learn more about the work that you are making possible tonight, please join me in welcoming the President and CEO of Physicians for Reproductive Health and Leadership Training Academy Class of 2011, Dr. Jamila Perritt, everybody.
I'm not going to make a comment about having to lower the mic, but you know how that goes. Thank you so much for coming, for the opportunity to check in with you all, to chat with you all. Thank you, Fred, and congratulations, Dr. Bryant and Dr. Lockley, for these really well-deserved awards. I had the honor of being in Dr. Lockley's and Dr. Bryant's LTA class and working with Dr. Lockley around the self-managed abortion work, so it really is truly an honor to be here supporting them and honoring them tonight. As you heard, my name is Dr. Jamila Perritt. I'm an OBGYN. I use she, her pronouns. I'm based in Washington, D.C., and I provide abortion care there in the city that I grew up in the place that I call home. You know, I was asked, my staff writes like all of these remarks, and then I get up here and just say whatever I feel like saying. So I'm not going to change that trend. I think I'll continue along in that vein. My mom is here. My family is here tonight. And nobody asked her to stand. Look, waving. But you know, I was listening and watching the videos, Dr. Lockley and Dr. Bryant, and I don't know about you all if you knew as a kid what you wanted to be when you grew up, but I always knew. I knew I would be a doctor. I don't have a memory of ever wanting to be anything else. You know, I was one of those really annoying kids that walked around with the plastic stethoscope and the fake doctor's bag, and I diagnosed friends and family, anybody who came close enough or sat still long enough with all kinds of imaginary diseases and illnesses. But I never knew that this would be the work that I did in the world. But I also, as I mentioned, I grew up in D.C., where I live and practice now, and it is nearly impossible to live in the District of Columbia and not feel the specter of politics on every part of your life. And we see the Capitol, we see the White House, and it is so far from us. D.C. is a place that has one of the largest income inequities of any city in this country, where the top 10% of earners make 6 times more than the bottom 10%. It is huge pockets of wealth and huge pockets of poverty. And growing up in that community, it shaped everything about the kind of doctor I was going to be. And so as a young person, I knew that doctoring would never be enough. It wouldn't be enough to save our communities. It wouldn't be enough to keep us well. And so I think as a young person, I believed if I could just get downtown, if I could get to those people that were making those laws that I knew were harming our communities, then it would make a difference. So the Leadership Training Academy, the work that PRH does, has been transformative for me, because I know without a doubt they would not invite that little black girl from DC to the White House to talk to the president. They wouldn't invite her to testify on Capitol Hill. They would not invite her to speak before the Senate. But Dr. Perritt comes with all of those letters behind her name. And so the question becomes, when you get the mic, what will you say? Who will you fight for? And that is the work that PRH does, having conversations about abortion and gender-affirming care and maternal mortality and the human rights that we are all afforded simply because they are universal and indivisible, and everyone everywhere is entitled to them regardless of race, geography, income, nationality. Those are the things that belong to us. And so for me, the linkage between providing medical care and fighting for my community was never in question. It was always something that was going to be part and parcel of what I did. I think, you know, Dr. Bryant talked about privilege. and talked about bravery. And we are all sitting here on what is today? Tuesday? On a Tuesday night in the middle of the week, drinking wine and eating cheese. So we are people who are operating in huge places of privilege. And so with that privilege comes a responsibility. A responsibility to do is exactly as Dr. Lockley mentioned, to understand that everyone's liberation, that our liberation is tied to everyone else's. We cannot be free when someone else is bound. And while abortion is not enough to get everybody free, it is absolutely necessary and part of it. And so this is an opportunity really for us to understand that reproductive autonomy, our ability to decide if, when, and how we build our family is absolutely integral to our human rights, is integral to our bodily autonomy. It is part and parcel of what we deserve because we occupy space on this earth. You know, Dr. Moyetti talked about what is before us, and there will be dark days. I want to be able to leave you with an inspirational message and say, keep your head up, be positive. But regardless of what happens in November, there will be hard times for so many communities. Roe was never enough. And so what we are not asking for is a return to Roe. We don't want to restore Roe. Because under Roe, people in my community still could not get care. Under Roe, people in rural communities still could not get care. Young people could not get care. People who relied on governmental insurance could not get care. And so we want something bigger and deeper and broader and more powerful than that. We deserve something more than that. And we have a collective opportunity and an obligation to build the kind of world that we want to see. We can both grieve the loss of Roe and in the same breath say it never did. It never gave what it was supposed to give, right? It was not the thing that we thought it was. And so both things can be true at the same time. And while we are deeply saddened by the loss of federal protections for abortion care, we also have an opportunity to build something bigger and better for our communities. And the question is, who gets to be in the center of this rebuild? Because if we center people who are marginalized from care, then everybody gets what they need. There are fights ahead. You know, we heard about the cases before the Supreme Court, whether it's a challenge to mifepristone, one of the medications used in medication abortion, that has these unnecessary restrictions tied to them in a way that exceptionalizes abortion care, or we're talking about the right of each individual to actually get care when they show up to an emergency room. Imagine that, showing up to a hospital and be turned away from care. Those are the cases that the Supreme Court is sitting with, and I am not optimistic. I don't believe our liberation is going to come from the court system, but I believe that our liberation is in this room, because collective liberation is the only opportunity that we have to actually push back. And so whether we're supporting people who are self-managing their care, or we're supporting people in clinic-based care, both things are necessary. Both things are important. Some people will always want to come see me to get their abortion, and some people will never want to come see me to get their abortion. And both options are valid, important, and critical. We have been working hard at Physicians for Reproductive Health, whether we're training doctors or doing testimonies or screaming from the mic at the steps of the Supreme Court. We continue to stand up and to shout out and to demand the right to live freely, to make decisions about ourselves, about our bodies, about how to build our families, and that will not stop. Regardless of what happens in the courts, regardless of what happens in November. Abortions have always happened, and they will always happen, and we are here to continue to support them. I think that this is this idea of the kind of world that we want sometimes feels far away. It feels like pie in the sky. But one of the tricky things about living in a society that is cultured in white supremacy is that it robs you of your imagination. And so you believe that the only thing is possible is something that you can see. That's a lie. Everything is possible. You get to be able to decide the context and circumstances under which you give birth. You get to have the information and resources necessary to prevent an end to pregnancy. You get to live in communities that are safe and sustainable and free from violence from the individual or the government. You get to live in your full expression of your bodily autonomy. All of those things are possible. We believe this here at Physicians for Reproductive Health, and we hope that you will believe that with us and you will join in the fight with us as we certainly honor the doctors that are on the front lines providing this work, but also we understand that it is not just us that are showing up, walking through protesters every day that make this possible. It is all of us, and it is necessary. This is not a small goal, I realize that, but it's something that we can do together. When you give today, you really help champion the healthcare rights. You help train and support and mobilize PRH's growing physician advocate network. And we want you to, we want to be able to see, we want you to see your generosity at work. So I did the first line of what they wrote and then the last line of what they wrote. So I'm gonna turn your attention now to take a look at the screens, to the video.
For more on what all of this means for providers and patients, we're joined by Dr. Jamila Perritt, President and CEO of Physicians for Reproductive Health.
We have more than 500 doctors in our network who are on the ground providing care in their communities day in and day out.
Physicians for Reproductive Health, also known as PRH, is a physician-led advocacy group that focuses on using the voice of medical providers, physicians, to advocate for reproductive health, reproductive rights, reproductive justice.
I went to medical school, I got obstetrics and gynecology training, I got fellowship training in advanced abortion care so that I could take care of my community using medical evidence, scientific fact, and my experiences.
I provide birth control, deliver babies, and provide abortion care because reproductive health care is essential for people's health, safety, and well-being.
We're taught to take care of people and to look at the situation from a clinical perspective, not to have a lawyer and a politician join us in our exam rooms.
These medications are safe, they are effective, whether I hand you the medication or you manage it in your home, in your community, with folks that you love, you trust, and who provide the support that you want and need in this moment.
And pulling mifepristone from the market isn't based in science, it's not based in good health care at all. It is simply about anti-abortion extremists finding new ways to restrict our right to health care.
This comes back to lawmakers wanting to have control over people's bodies, trying to control anything from abortion to now fertility access.
When we always think about who is impacted, it's always going to be people that are marginalized, that couldn't travel to access care and need the access to medication via telemedicine to be able to access abortion.
You know, I think that's the most important part about this story is the people that are being left behind, the patients who need that care, who are still in these communities with doctors who are doing everything that they can to continue caring for them under these restrictions.
We now more than ever have to just speak up, speak on a local, state, federal level, and talk about why this is important and why this matters.
Los abortos todavía siguen legal en California. Tenemos que proteger y apoyar a nuestros vecinos. Estamos aquí para servirles hoy y siempre.
Well, now it's your opportunity to advance reproductive health and rights and justice in all 50 states. When you raise your bid card, you help build a future where no one goes without the reproductive health care they need. And you support a vision where people can access abortion when and where and how it's best for them. In the face of mounting restrictions, the decriminalization of abortion care is at the heart of our work. And so tonight, we need every single person in this room, every single person watching online to dig deep and help fight back any place where punishment and care overlap. So let's get to it. If you're online, you can follow the instructions on the chat on the Crowdcast live stream. If you're in the room here with us, please pick up your bid cards. They're on the back of your program. And get ready to hold those proudly. I'll start with a big number as we've done before and work my way down. We're confident there's a number that works for everyone, and our goal, of course, is 100% participation because you know how important this work is. So again, please dig deep, raise your bid card proudly until I read your bid number, and make a gift that's truly meaningful to you, because our goal is to raise $150,000 right now. So let's start first at $25,000. When you donate $25,000, you support one physician advocate getting trained at the Leadership Training Academy program for the entire year of 2025. And we are starting off strong. Mindy and John Gray want to give $25,000 twice. They are donating $50,000 to get us started. Amazing. Is there anybody here who would like to join them at $25,000? If so, hold up your bid card proudly. Remember, if everyone gives $25,000, we can skip all the other levels and get right to John Oliver. How about another round of applause for Mindy and John Gray giving $25,000 twice, $50,000. That's amazing. Our next level is $10,000, but before we get there, we have a $15,000 donation from Douglas and Wendy Eisenberg to be used as a match later tonight. Let's give them a round of applause. So we're moving on for the slides to $10,000. When you donate $10,000, you're supporting a PRH Advocacy Day on the Hill, and you'll ensure that medical experts meet with legislators to help keep the pressure on to introduce proactive legislation to protect comprehensive reproductive health care. So if you can join us now at $10,000, hold your bid cards proudly. I'm looking around the room. Again, we're confident there's a level that works for everyone. Hold those bid. There we go, number 101. Thank you so much. Starting us off at $10,000. I know we've got a paddle being raised on behalf of Suzanne Kriskunas, who couldn't be with us tonight, so let's give Suzanne a round of applause. Thank you. Anyone else want to join us at $10,000? How about another round of applause for Suzanne Kriskunas? Thank you so much. Our next level is $5,000. You know, we're so honored that physician advocates like Dr. Perritt are willing to go speak at rallies at the Supreme Court and elsewhere, but we need to keep our advocates safe. When you donate $5,000, you can provide a physician advocate with security detail and support at a high visibility public event. And with that, who can dig deep and join us at $5,000? And here we go, number 168. Thank you for your generosity at $5,000. Number 211, waving it. I appreciate you. Thank you at $5,000. Anyone else want to join us at $5,000? How about a round of applause for our two $5,000 supporters? Thank you. Our next level is $2,500. I do want to say we're watching your generosity coming in online right now. I can see Dr. Suzanne Popema donating $3,000 from afar. Thank you so much. Judith Engelberg giving $3,000. Rima and Roger Rosenstein donating $2,500. Thank you. Candace Worth donating $2,500. When you donate $2,500, you help prep one of our physician advocates for congressional testimony in D.C. That's one of the many things you support. So who in this room can raise a bid card at $2,500 and show that you stand with our physicians? And here we go. Number 113 says, I stand with our physicians. Thank you so much. Is there anyone else who wants to join us now at $2,500? Again, we're confident there's a level that works for everyone. How about a big round of applause for our $2,500 supporter? Thank you for your generosity. And thank you to everyone online as well. Our next level is $1,000. $1,000, and we're going to make it easy to give right now. As I mentioned the match earlier, Wendy and Douglas Eisenberg are offering a $15,000 match. That means you give $1,000, they will match you at $1,000. Your $1,000 becomes $2,000 right now with our match. And so with that, is there anybody who can join us now at $1,000, knowing your $1,000 becomes $2,000 with the match? And look at this. Here we go. Number 248. Thank you for starting us off at $1,000. Number 123. Thank you so much. Number 192, also at $1,000. Number 1 389. Thank you so much. Remember, your 1,000 becomes 2,000 with the match. Number 398. Thank you. How old are you, by the way? 9. Don't be outbid by a 9-year-old. You should at least be as generous as a 9-year-old. Number 255, thank you for your generosity. Number 322, also joining us at $1,000. Number 211, thank you. Number 204, thank you. Number 103, thank you. Remember, these gifts are being matched dollar for dollar. Number 254 at $1,000. That's 11. If we can get 4 more bid cards up, we will exhaust our match. Who else would like to join us at $1,000 knowing your 1,000 becomes 2,000? Number 174 says, I'll do it. Number 136, thank you so much. We need 2 more. Is there anyone else who can jump up? You will get, where else can you buy a round of applause for $1,000? Right here. Number 229, thank you for your generosity. 1 more. Who's going to jump in? One final $1,000 donor. Remember, your 1,000 becomes 2,000 with our match. I'm looking around. This is someone right now has a sense of drama. They're like, I'm going to drag it out, and then I'm going to raise, and it's going to be thunderous applause. Anyone here? Here we go, number 261. That's $30,000 we just raised at that level. Thank you so much. Amazing. Let's keep the generosity going now at $500. When you donate $500, you help prepare a physician advocate for breaking news media interviews on primetime television. Let's get these advocates confident and ready to speak. At $500, thank you, number 132. Thank you for your generosity. Number 262, thank you. Number 218, thank you so much. We're confident there's a level that works for everyone. And again, our goal is 100% participation, so let's keep it going. Number 322, thank you for your generosity. Number 125, also joining us at $500. Is there anyone else who'd like to join us at $500? Yes, number 252, thank you. More drama, I like it. Anyone else want to join us at $500? How about a round of applause for our $500 supporters? Our next level is $250. One thing you support at $250, you help us put out our exciting, informative, and dare I say funny blog post for the public breaking down important policy issues. Who can join us now at $250 and make a difference here at $250? I'm looking around the room. Right here, number 221. Thank you for your generosity at $250. Who else wants to join us? Number 108, thank you. Number 382, thank you so much. Number 389, thank you for your generosity. Who else wants to join us? Anyone else here at $250? I don't want to miss anyone. How about a round of applause for our $250 donors? Ignore that big number behind me. $100 is our last level. So, let's advance now to $100. There we go. $100 is our last level. Every donation helps tonight. So if you haven't joined us yet, or if you'd like to give twice, again, we hope that everybody will join us at some particular level. So let's go. Number 170, thank you so much. Number 268, number 335, number 302, number 144, thank you. Number 370, thank you for your generosity. Number 191, number 195, thank you. Number 369, number 276, number 217, number 130, thank you. 203, number 188, number 328, thank you. Number 177, number 186, number 188, thank you. Number 284, number 223, number 246, I got you back there, thank you. Number 193, I like it. Number 285, thank you both. And I got you right here, thank you. Anyone else? Yes, number 257. Don't write in the number 380. Thank you so much. Number 117. You don't have a number. What's your first name? Navant. We'll just put it down. That's perfect. Thank you. It's the honor system. Thank you. How about a big round of applause for everyone who raised a bid card? Thank you. And thank you to everyone donating online. If you'd like to donate an amount that I didn't call, or if you want to give privately, or if you want to give through a donor advised fund or any other way, you can either, we'll have envelopes for you on the way out at the registration table, or you can make a gift on your phone if you're a fan of technology. You can see right there, you can text COURAGE 24 to 76278 and make your gift right now. So thank you again for your generous support. Before we bring up John Oliver, woo, exactly. Last time John was here, he said that he loves just listening to numbers as a way to warm up a crowd for a comedian. And I asked him if that was true, and he said, yes, I love numbers. So we're going to get to bring John Oliver up. First, I want to announce our winner for the Golden Raffle Ticket, where you can go to Sedona, Nashville, Memphis, New Orleans, or Las Vegas, or the Caribbean. Dr. Noah Natel, you are our winner. Congratulations. We drew your name. Where are you, Doctor? Congratulations. Maybe already on the way to the Caribbean. Congratulations, Dr. Noah. All right, we will coordinate your trip with you, but first, please welcome to the stage the host of Last Week Tonight, the one, the only, John Oliver, everyone.
Fred, ladies and gentlemen, Fred and his numbers. Thank you so much for having me see everyone. All the cell phones are up now. people sitting there, I want to enjoy this, but now is not good for me. Later would be better. Later and smaller would be more convenient for my schedule. It is a thrill to be. I demand that at every event I do now, there are at least 15 wine barrels visible behind glass in any room. So few venues acquiesce to that demand. I also demand there's at least one impeccably dressed 9-year-old. Thank you very much. It's something that's important to me. When I said impeccable, you understood the assignment. Thank you. It's an absolute thrill to be with you again. This full disclosure, this could be a disaster. I increasingly have a pretty checkered history with benefit gigs. Last summer, I was booed on stage at a Sesame Street benefit. That is not easy to make happen. The theme of the evening was kindness. Let me explain the context of what happened. The whole point was to raise as much money as they possibly could for all the projects Sesame Street was doing around the world. And so they got a big corporate sponsor, Bank of America, and I think they got this corporate sponsor by making up this nonsense award. And they were going to give it to one of Bank of America's executives, and I was going to go on after her. And she walked onto the stage. She was very happy with her award. And she said, I've just been standing backstage thinking how appropriate it is that Sesame Street and Bank of America have teamed up tonight. Because we are two organizations fundamentally built on kindness. And I remember standing at the side of the stage thinking to myself, oh no. She's just said something that I think demands a counter-argument. And this doesn't feel like the best place to do that in. The whole point of the evening was it was a nice atmosphere. All the puppets, all the characters were out there. With it, they didn't need me causing a scene just because I felt that she had said something objectionable. I thought I could choose not to say anything, so I'll make that choice. I'll be a good boy. I'm not going to say anything, assuming she doesn't say that again. She said it 3 more times in her 4-minute speech, and I snapped. I'm not proud of it. City Winery, I snapped. I walked straight onto the stage. It's been odd to hear talk of kindness coming from Bank of America, a bank with the highest foreclosure rate over the last 10 years. Boos echoing off the walls. And the abiding nightmare that I've had ever since is just Bert's eyes looking up at me. His unblinking eyes. Just say, why couldn't you just let this go? You're behaving erratically and I live with Ernie. That should give you pause. So it's a huge pleasure and an honor to be among you again. I know that this has been yet another very, very challenging year in the months and the struggles post-Dobbs. It can feel desperate. I know it feels like it demands desperate actions. At times, earlier this year, tried to get Clarence Thomas off the Supreme Court by giving him an RV. We all do weird things when we're backed into a wall. He hasn't left yet. The RV is still available. But I wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the work. You do not need me to tell you how important the work that you do is. I wish so much that you didn't have to work so tirelessly to provide what should be a basic fundamental right. Unfortunately, you do have to do it, which is why I'm so grateful that you do, and do it so relentlessly and tirelessly, but you don't have to do it thanklessly. So I cannot thank you enough. I am in absolute awe of the work that you do here. It's incredibly important. I had a couple of thoughts on the way down here that are very stupid. They're not going to help anything, but they might give us a brief moment of levity when times are this dark. I think one of the issues with the so-called debate over reproductive rights is that it's running headfirst into a true weakness in America at the moment, which is a lack of respect for expertise. I started worrying about this earlier this year when I read this study, a survey, that 1 in 8 men apparently believed that they could win a single point in a game of tennis against Serena Williams. Apparently 1 in 8 men believe that they could do that. That means, numerically, there are multiple men in this room right now fighting an instinct inside them to go, that actually sounds right to me. A single point against Serena, just 1 point, that is definitely something that some random guy, could do. When it's very important for you to know that is not something you're physically capable of at all. And I can feel the pushback from some pockets in this room. People sitting there going, you know nothing about me. I played tennis in high school. I had a pretty good backhand back then. Your pretty good backhand is not relevant to the claim that you just made. Serena Williams has a 120-mile-an-hour serve. Your high school backhand just cannot help you in that scenario. It's like you saying to me, I'm pretty sure I could take a single point off Serena Williams. After all, in high school, I was in a production of Pippin. Good for you. I'm not arguing whether or not that's true. It's not a good supporting argument for the claim you just made, though. The problem with this lack of respect for expertise is that you are seeing it everywhere. You see it on the news with all kinds of important subjects now. You'll see anchors on the news say, well, this scientists are now more confident than not that we'll exceed the 1.5 degree global warming threshold at some point in the next 5 to 10 years, and that's a real problem. But rather than just leaving it there, they'll say, but what do you think at home? We've been reading your tweets all day. At Ballsack24 says he thinks it's going to be fine, there's nothing to worry about. Why are we listening to at Ballsack24's opinion on this? Especially a subject about the importance of acting in a prompt manner when at Ballsack24 clearly couldn't act quickly enough to gain the accounts at Ballsacks 1 through 23. This is a deeply flawed individual, a solid ballsack joke for the 9-year-old in the room, impeccably dressed. If not for you, then who was that joke for? But the key thing with expertise, of course, is infecting this horrendous non-debate that we're having over reproductive rights, because it's that same level of idiocy that will lead people to say that they want to curtail reproductive rights to protect women, when, of course, the fact is that women in states with abortion bans are 3 times more likely to die during pregnancy, childbirth, or soon after. And this, of course, is only exacerbated for people of color. Those are the facts. Those are the facts that mean it is so important for you to keep doing what you're doing, and for those of us who are not doing it, to keep supporting those who are. So thank you so much for everything that you've done over the last year and that you're going to do over the years to come. If you can give and continue support, especially at home, please keep supporting Physicians for Reproductive Health. I guarantee you there is no amount of money that you will regret. No one has ever woken up the following morning and thought, oh no, what did I do last night? I supported reproductive rights too much. That's not a sentence that makes sense in the English language. So thank you so much. Please keep fighting for what is so important. Please keep supporting this magnificent organization. Thank you very much for dressing so well. Thank you so much. Good night.
John Oliver, everyone. All right, I want to thank the awards committee, volunteer board, and the PRH staff for making tonight possible. Thank you so much. Friends in this room, if John just gave you the advice, you're not going to wake up tomorrow. So if you haven't made a gift, or if you want to increase your gift, no, you are going to wake up tomorrow. You're not going to wake up tomorrow and regret the gift. Yeah, I figured you saw the ... Yes, you're not going to wake up tomorrow and regret your donation. So if you haven't made a gift yet, or if you'd like to give more, again, you can text Courage24 to 76278 to make a gift online. We will have registration envelopes at the tables when you exit. Or if you want to give an easy final $50 in honor of the work that we're doing here, if you leave your program, your bid number on the stage, anywhere on the stage, we will enter that in as a final $50 donation. So, everyone, my name is Fred Northup Jr. Again, it's been my honor to be here with you. On behalf of everyone at PRH, thank you for your support. Give yourselves a round of applause for what we did. Another round of applause for our award winners. Thank you for your generosity, and have a good evening.